All right, we're back with another episode of Will These Comics Make Good Films and Television Shows? Now that the writer's strike is roaring at end, we might actually see some more production happening, which I'm all excited about since I've been here in Atlanta. So let's find out in the new episode. Hang tight, we got Marvel, we got DC coming up right now. I am your host, Frank Zanca. I am an award-winning screenwriter, novelist, comic book writer, and a working line producer, formerly from Hollywood, and now I have moved to Atlanta. I had some meetings today, too, so I might be back in the line producing chair relatively soon. So excited about that with the strikes ending. But let's get into some Marvel and DC and one IDW. It's only about 5 issues this time, so let's get started. And will these comics make good film and television shows? Can these be pitched to the networks? Can they be pitched to the streamers? Would you be happy watching them if they were cast in live action? Let's find out. So we have a new issue of Darth Vader. This is a continuation of Dark Droids. And in here we have Vader, who had lost his control over the Force. It was kind of all over the place. So he went and got some artifacts. He's fighting with a staff and a shield. And now we have this entity that's corrupting these droids. And the droids are now fighting for this entity. So he's got a whole Star Destroyer worth of droids coming at him, and they plan on Piet and rest of his cohorts are planning to destroy it with Vader still on it. And I thought that it was destroyed in the previous issue, but I guess not. And the artwork is decent on here, but I mean, do we really want to see Vader fighting with the shield and staff rather than a lightsaber? Really, no. So these little discs pop out and go on the faces. It's almost like an alien situation here, a xenomorph situation, and they're fighting all these droids, and he's fighting with the shield and the whole bit. And then he gets off the ship in his TIE fighter, and they open fire on the Star Destroyer and destroy it, thinking maybe he's still on it, but nope, he's already down on the planet having a meeting. So that's about the extent of that. So this Dark Droids thing is still continuing, but not with me. This is actually my last issue of Vader. It's gone up to $5. All of the Star Wars books have gone up to $5 for no reason. There's no additional page count for that. They just raised the price haphazardly, even though they own the IP. It's not like they're paying a licensing fee. And this whole Dark Droids thing has been complete garbage. Greg Pak, I think his name is. Yep, Greg Pak has just gone off the reservation with Darth Vader for a while now. And I'm through with it. So that would be the end. Would it make a good film and television show? This whole Dark Droids thing is just really awful. Really awful. They should never have done it, especially across all of the different Star Wars books. I'm waiting for it to be over because it's just really bad. Okay, so then we're going to go on to Normie Osborn and Rascal in the new Red Goblin issue. So in the last issue, they were fighting Crossbones, and he kind of wanted to get rid of Rascal. His mom and his grandfather, Norman Osborn, who was the previous Green Goblin, are saying, well, where are the kids? Because I guess she hasn't been keeping track of them. She went to work, which for him, it may be in a different city because he took a helicopter. But he's teamed up with Miles Morales, looks really tall in this issue. And he's helping him because he's like, look, if you get out of this, I'll help you get the maybe go to the Fantastic Four, whatever else, but we'll get the symbiote off you. So Miles has a big fight with Crossbones, which actually is pretty cool. And even though he does look taller than normal. And the fight goes back and forth, which again is kind of cool. And eventually he beats Crossbones, but his the bad hobgoblin there, his apprentice, because he's like undead, she dies, but not before telling him he's going to get his in the end as well. And Normie goes and confronts him, which is kind of brave. And him and Rascal team up once again, and the other guy pulls the Rascal towards him, but nope. It goes back to Normie, and he's all pissed off, and the other undead guy realizes that it's all over. And Normie and Rascal go a little bonkers. Meanwhile, his best friend goes to see his grandfather to tell him everything that's going on. And that's where it kind of ends. So it's got some good action in here. Decent book. Would it make a good film or television show? The only problem is that he could never be the main character. He would have to be an offshoot of Miles Morales. So yeah, this would be good as long as the main character was Miles. That would be the only way this worked, because this character is not well known. So it would have to be a Spider-Man movie, and he would just have to be a character in it. But it would be cool. Yeah, that would work. I'm really enjoying that. We're on issue number 8. I mean, it's up and down, but I think the character is interesting. So I like it. So then we go into the Hulk. We got a new artist here, like a guest artist, and the artist not as good. But this continues with the horror thing. I think this is Philip Kennedy Johnson. So the artwork's a little bit more bland, but we go into major horror here. We have, things coming out of the lake and black eyes and the whole bit. And whatever it is that's appearing out of the lake that's killing these people is appearing as people that they know, which is kind of cool. And Philip Kennedy Johnson, I was right. And he ends up leaving Charlie behind, meaning Bruce. So he has this girl with him that's got a burnt face. He's running away from home, and Bruce doesn't really want her with him because of the fact that he knows he's dangerous, but he just can't leave a teenager by herself. So I felt really bad there. I don't think that really worked for Bruce's character. I know he was protecting her, but look how, I mean, the artist did a good job of saying how felt how alone she just suddenly felt and abandoned. And what would she do? He fed her and then he left. So she ends up at the lake or something to that effect and seeing something. And I think it's her brother or something that comes out. Yeah. So her brother comes out of the lake. Meanwhile, Bruce ends up confronting Man-Thing, who... And the Man-Thing appeared in Werewolf by Night, if you watch that on Disney+. So he brings him in there into his own body, but then Hulk pops out of it. If you see the hand coming out of his back. And Hulk just rips him apart, but you can't kill Man-Thing like that. So, but yeah, that's pretty cool right there. And the thing, whatever's in that lake, brings Charlie into it, and she's confronted by the monster that, I mean, that's pretty freaky. Whoever designed that thing, it's pretty freaky. So this is a whole different kind of take on the Hulk, using it for horror. But I would see this. I would, if you kind of took the this kind of approach with the Hulk, where it was, horrific monsters. I mean, this, if you do I mean, even in the very first movie there with Ed Norton, the Abomination was kind of horrific. So I don't know. I really like that approach. I think that would be a very interesting film for the Hulk because we only got one standalone film in the MCU. I'm not even going to count the Banner one. I didn't like that one at all. All right, and now we're into Werewolf by Night, which again is the same type of thing that was used in Disney Plus. So we have, I forgot her name, something Moonstone. Forgot her first name. Elsa, I think it is. Yes, Elsa Bloodstone. So this is very interesting. I got to show you this. So it starts out, because even the Disney Plus show is black and white. So it starts out black and white. I'm not sure I like the design of Werewolf by Night in here, of the werewolf side, but he every night he becomes a werewolf. I guess he can turn it on and off, as opposed to the full moon, which makes sense because you'd only have a comic once, he'd only be go on an adventure once in a month. But here's what I like. Anything with her is color. Anything with him is black and white. So she starts out on this plane, and I guess they're both on the same mission to save this girl who's about to be sacrificed by a common enemy between them. But anyway, she's on this plane, so he's going into the castle. She's on a plane above it, and there were vampires on this plane, so she killed them all. So before it crashes, right, so she kills all the vampires on the plane, and then the plane crashes, but before it does, she jumps out to land on the castle. So I guess she knew the flight plan or whatever else. And this is by Derek Landy, who I was reading some other stuff by him too. But again, here you have him on one side and her on the other, which is very interesting. So they're rushing, like even in here, if you see this panel here, she's in color and he's in black and white, even though they're in the same panel. That's okay. That took some getting used to. But anyway, here there's the big baddie, and they're like, look, we're here to save the girl before you sacrifice her. And he's just like, you're too late. She's already sacrificed. So I thought that was interesting. It was a good twist. How they failed. Before they even got there, they already failed the mission. And she turns into like this Cthulhu thing, which wraps them up. And it ends up, he thinks that he's won, but the only problem is, where is it? Here. So it kills him. So now, so the baddie's gone, the girl's gone, they're fighting little creatures, and really they just have to get out because the creature's about to bring the whole castle down upon them. And that's exactly what happens. The whole castle goes down. And they have a moment, because I guess they've had a relationship in the past. And they both walk away feeling like they should have said certain things, and they didn't. So, Werewolf by Night, this is a one-shot, by the way. This is not a series. It was only a one-shot in and out. And I don't know why they did it now as opposed to doing it during Halloween. But I would love to see a series on this. I really like this. They did a good job with Blade, and now they're doing a good job with this. I really like this. And if they do another Werewolf by Night for Disney Plus or whatever else, I thought the story was pretty good. So it might be kind of expensive with the Cthulhu thing. But, but they didn't really put Elsa, Moonstone or Bloodstone in color or anything like that. The whole thing was black and white. I do have to watch that over again. All right, so let's move on to Star Trek. This is the end of Echoes. So, a Mirror Mirror Universe version of Uhura has come over to the regular planetary United Federation of Planets reality, and Chekhov has a weapon of mass destruction. He makes a deal with the Romulans when they go into the neutral zone, and he's very dangerous. However, our regular Chekhov gets hurt, and I guess the only thing that they can do is give him some kind of a blood transfusion, but without the other Chekhov, because he's got a very rare blood type, so they need the other Chekhov to give the transfusion, or he's going to die. So Kirk and Uhura are captured, and meanwhile, the Romulans transport the device back down to the planet below, and they're going to try to set it up or test it or something to that effect. So Spock is now leading. He has the con, and let's see. Yeah, so he has the con, and he sends Sulu down to the planet to destroy the device. So we have a phaser battle on the planet, and with the Romulans, and that once they destroy it, it takes away any need for the Romulans to even fight them, even though they've been captured. And they said, well, if you really want to have to start a international incident or interplanetary incident for no reason, then you can go ahead and kill us. But there's nothing. It doesn't get you anywhere. So they end up the Mirror Mirror Universe Uhura. They say don't kill the other Chekhov because we need him. Dr. McCoy beams over, and this is where the thing gets destroyed on the planet. And she ends up, the other Uhura, let's see, where is it? Don't know. I don't know where it is. But anyway, she ends up killing him. Here it is. She ends up killing, after they tell her not to kill him, she does. She turns his head on backwards. And so McCoy runs in there to get the blood from him so that they can save Chekhov. And that's, there he is there with the vial. And I think it wraps up very, very quickly. Almost too quickly. And because it's very over abruptly. And so I guess the other Uhura decides to stay with them. But yeah, it ended very, very abruptly. So was the story good? I've seen way better Star Trek than this. This is by Mark Guggenheim. And the artwork was decent. It's a little stylized. But I'm not sure that these costumes were my favorite costumes. I still prefer the original costumes. The red ones were all right. But no, I don't think this would make a good film or television show. It had its moments, but for the most part, it was kind of very bland Trek, with not a whole lot going on, not very epic. So that's it. That's all I've got. So let's do a really quick recap. All right, so we're going to start backwards. So Star Trek Echoes, now that it's completely finished, I would say no, it's not very epic, and it would definitely not make a good film or television show. Werewolf by Night, the one shot, I thought this was really good, and I thought this would actually make a really good like mini movie, like they've done on Disney Plus, with Elsa Moonstone again, teaming up with Werewolf by Night. Philip Kennedy Johnson with the horror take on Hulk, really good. I would definitely see this as a film if they decide to do a film just with Hulk. I'm not a big fan of Ruffalo, but whatever. Red Goblin, the only issue is he's not well known and probably won't stand by himself, but could be a good character for a Miles Morales film. And then Darth Vader. No, no, no. With Dark Droids, this thing just needs to go away. All right, that's it for me. Remember to like and subscribe. And I'm going to push my own work now as well. So, because remember that I am a writer, so this is my new fantasy novel, Tales of Ravenor, the Iron Witch, with a lot of great cultures that remain in the kingdom. So the kingdom is made of different cultures, and there's a whole different spell and magic set that I introduce, and lots of fun, lots of good twists, and I really got to get started on the second book. All right, and now we have Destiny Aurora, my sci-fi series. It's a 4-book series. This is the adaptation of the first book. It's 150 pages. We've got plenty of androids and space battles and aliens and a really big twist that most people don't see coming. So yeah, it's pretty thick. And so it has an entire story, and it's only $20. And the link below, DestinyAurora.net, will take you there. I think it's also on Amazon. The Tales of Ravenor is also on Amazon, but only in paperback, and of course I can't sign it if you get it printed through them. And then my Vampire Mob in the 50s, Lords of LA. I am, now that I finished working on my event, I'm actually gonna, this is my next step, is to get the issue 2 launched on Kickstarter. Well, thank you very much for watching, everybody. And remember to like, subscribe, give me a thumbs up, give me a middle finger, whatever floats your boat. And what are you guys collecting? And do you agree with me? Have you read these? Do you agree that these things would make good film or television shows? Or you don't? You think, oh, no, I'd never see anything like that. Let me know in the comment section below. Love to hear your guys' takes on some of these. All right. Thanks, guys, and have a great week.